Who are they? And what do you know about Shaolin Temple in Henan Province, China? Part 3. We continue to tell a stage of the life of Kung Fu in the Shaolin Temple. They believe that avoiding meat promotes mental clarity and physical health. Another important element of the daily life of the monks is the practice of Kung Fu. Kung Fu exercises serve not only to develop physical strength and skill, but also spiritual development. Monks believe that through the practice of Kung Fu, concentration is strengthened and self-discipline is improved. Architecture of the Shaolin Temple. The Shaolin Temple consists of several buildings, including the Wushu Hall, which is dedicated to Kung Fu training, the Sutra Hall, which serves as a place for meditation and studying Buddhist texts, and the Mahavira Hall, which is reserved for the abbot and his monks. A special highlight of the temple is the pagoda forest, a collection of several dozen stone pagodas that were built over the centuries. Meaning of the different buildings and statues in the Shaolin Temple. The Shaolin Temple consists of a variety of buildings and statues, each with their own meaning and function. The Mahavira Hall is one of the most important buildings in the temple and serves as a place for Buddhist ceremonies and meditation. It also houses statues of Buddhist deities such as the Buddhist deity of compassion, Guanyin. The Dharma Hall is another important building in the temple that serves as a place for Buddhist teachings and studies. It also houses statues of Buddhist masters such as Bodhidharma, the founder of Chan Buddhism and Shaolin Kung Fu. The pagoda forest is a cemetery that consists of over 240 stone and brick pagodas that were built over the centuries to house the ashes of deceased monks and benefactors of the temple. It is also a pilgrimage site and place of worship. Statues such as that of the Maitreya Buddha, known as the Buddha of the future, can be found in many parts of the temple and symbolize the expectation of the Buddha's rebirth and attainment of enlightenment. The bronze statue of the Buddhist master Bodhidharma, regarded as the founder of Chan Buddhism and Shaolin Kung Fu, is another important symbol in the temple and a place of worship and prayer. Architecture of the Shaolin Temple. The Shaolin Temple consists of several buildings, including the Wushu Hall, which is dedicated to Kung Fu training, the Sutra Hall, which serves as a place for meditation and studying Buddhist texts, and the Mahavira Hall, which is reserved for the abbot and his monks. A special highlight of the temple is the pagoda forest, a collection of several dozen stone pagodas that were built over the centuries. Meaning of the different buildings and statues in the Shaolin Temple. The Shaolin Temple consists of a variety of buildings and statues, each with their own meaning and function. The Mahavira Hall is one of the most important buildings in the temple and serves as a place for Buddhist ceremonies and meditation. It also houses statues of Buddhist deities such as the Buddhist deity of compassion, Guanyin. The Dharma Hall is another important building in the temple that serves as a place for Buddhist teachings and studies. It also houses statues of Buddhist masters such as Bodhidharma, the founder of Chan Buddhism and Shaolin Kung Fu. The pagoda forest is a cemetery that consists of over 240 stone and brick pagodas that were built over the centuries to house the ashes of deceased monks and benefactors of the temple. It is also a pilgrimage site and place of worship. Statues such as that of the Maitreya Buddha, known as the Buddha of the future, can be found in many parts of the temple and symbolize the expectation of the Buddha's rebirth and attainment of enlightenment. The bronze statue of the Buddhist master Bodhidharma, regarded as the founder of Chan Buddhism and Shaolin Kung Fu, is another important symbol in the temple and a place of worship and prayer. Abbot Shi Yongxin and his leadership of the Shaolin Temple. Abbot Shi Yongxin is the current abbot of the Shaolin Temple and has played a significant role in the leadership and modernization of the temple in recent decades. He was appointed as the abbot of the temple in 1999 and has since introduced many changes and modernizations. Under the leadership of Abbot Shi Yongxin, the Shaolin Temple has increased its public relations efforts and has developed into an important tourist destination. He has also ensured that the temple is better managed and organized by introducing internal rules and procedures. Abbot Shi Yongxin has also ensured that the Shaolin Temple preserves its traditions and culture while also attempting to make it more accessible to the modern world. For example, he has ensured that the temple is better adapted to the needs of tourists and students by improving accommodations and training rooms. The leadership of Abbot Shi Yongxin has also contributed to strengthening the reputation of the Shaolin Temple and Shaolin Kung Fu worldwide. He has ensured that the temple and its monks are present in many international events and media. Criticism of Abbot Shi Yongxin. Although Abbot Shi Yongxin is praised for his leadership and modernization of the Shaolin Temple, he has also faced criticism. Some argue that he has betrayed the original spirit and traditions of the temple by commercializing it too much and focusing on profit instead of religious practices. There are also allegations of irregularities in regard to the management of the temple and its finances under his leadership. It is important to note that Abbot Shi Yongxin's leadership of the Shaolin Temple is controversial, and there are both positive and negative views on it. Everyone should form their own opinion and familiarize themselves with both sides of the argument. The Shaolin Temple and Traditional Chinese Medicine, TCM. The Shaolin Temple has a long history of connection with traditional Chinese medicine, TCM. Monks at the temple have been using TCM practices such as acupuncture, moxibustion, massage, and herbal medicine for centuries to maintain and improve their physical and mental health. The connection between Shaolin Kung Fu and TCM dates back to the Buddhist master Bodhidharma, who is believed to have come to China in the 6th century and introduced both Kung Fu exercises and medical techniques. He taught the monks at the Shaolin Temple how to use Kung Fu exercises and breathing techniques to improve their physical and mental health. The monks at the Shaolin Temple believe that combining Kung Fu exercises and TCM practices improves health and well-being by regulating energy in the body and activating the body's self-healing abilities. For example, Kung Fu exercises are used to improve circulation and energy flow in the body, while acupuncture and herbal medicine are used to relieve pain and treat illnesses. Today, the Shaolin Temple also offers courses and workshops in TCM practices and Shaolin Kung Fu, both for monks and visitors. There is also a department in the temple that focuses on the application of TCM practices for health, where visitors can receive treatments. Myths and legends. There are several myths and legends associated with the Shaolin Temple. Some of them include: the temple was founded by the Indian Chinese monk Bodhidharma, who invented Kung Fu to protect his monks and strengthen their bodies. The temple has an underground chamber where the monks keep their secret techniques and weapons. The temple has a long history of resistance against the Chinese government and has survived many attacks over the centuries. The temple has a strong connection to Chinese secret services and has trained spies in the past. Monks at the Shaolin Temple have superhuman powers and can break walls with their bare hands. Monks at the Shaolin Temple can fly and stay in the air by controlling their energy. The Shaolin Temple is the only place where you can learn Kung Fu. Monks at the Shaolin Temple can heal their bodies in unbelievable ways and are immune to pain and diseases. The Shaolin Temple is a place where only men are allowed and women have no chance of learning Kung Fu. It is important to note that these myths and legends often contribute to the Shaolin Temple's mystical reputation, but they are generally not scientifically proven and should not be considered as facts. Many of them are not true. Shaolin Temple was originally built in 495 in the Northern Wei Dynasty, 368 to 534. 32 years later, an Indian monk named Bodhidharma arrived in Shaolin Monastery, and from that time on, the temple was expanded gradually with increased monks and greatly boosted reputation. Bodhidharma is then the primary ancestor of Chan, and hence, Shaolin Temple is the birthplace of Chan. For over 1,500 years, Shaolin Temple has developed with twists and turns. The temple was firstly destroyed in the Northern Zhou Dynasty, 557 to 581, due to the prohibition of Buddhism, and was rebuilt dozens of years later but changed to name as Jihu Temple. Sui Dynasty, 581 to 618, was a period that Buddhism got a great development, and the temple was renamed as Shaolin again, which then became a large Buddhism monastery in North China with expanded territory endowed by the government. In early Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907, Shaolin Temple was well developed under preferable policies because of the great help offered by Shaolin monks to the Emperor Tang Taizong to exterminate separatist regimes, while in later of Tang Dynasty, the Emperor Wuzong restricted the Buddhism that the temple was weakened again. Though repaired somewhat in Song Dynasty, 960-1279, Shaolin Temple did not recover till 1312 in Yuan Dynasty, 1271 to 1368. The emperor assigned a monk to take charge of Shaolin Temple, which was ordered a commander of other monasteries in Mtisong area. As a result, a great many of monks came to Shaolin Temple to learn Shaolin martial arts and follow the Buddhism. Unfortunately, in the later of the same dynasty, monks were scattered because of the peasant uprising. Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, also made great contributions to the development of Shaolin Temple, and according to historical records, there are totally 8 princes became a monk in Shaolin Temple. Unluckily, due to the war in modern time during the first half of 20th century, main buildings were destroyed and many precious sutras and dates were burned into ashes. Shanmen, Gate of the Temple. It was built in 1735 and renovated in 1974. The overall structure of the gate is in great harmony with 2 symmetrical stone honorific arches and each with characters to praise the Buddhism, Chan, or the temple. On the top of the Shanmen is a horizontal board with the name of the temple, which was inscribed by Emperor Kangxi of Qing Dynasty, 1644 to 1911, with his seal sign in the middle. By the 2 sides in front of the gate are 2 stone lions made in Qing Dynasty. The Hall of Heavenly Kings. Located at the end of the Forest of Steels, the hall got its name from the 4 enshrined heavenly kings in it. The hall is tranquilly with red walls and green tiles, archways and paintings as well as 2 statues of Buddha's warriors. From the Shanmen to the Hall of Heavenly Kings, it is a long paved path with green pines, verdant cypresses, and steels on both sides. Apart from these 20 steels, in the east of the path, a galley exhibits other over 100 steels which were built from Tang Dynasty to Qing Dynasty. Mahavira Hall. It is the center for main activities of Shaolin Temple, and regarded as the 3 halls together with the Hall of Heavenly Kings and Classics Hall. The original hall was destroyed in 1928 in wars, and the present one was built in 1986. This hall is home to statues of Sakyamuni, Baisajayaguru, and Amitabha. In the center of the hall is the inscription given by Emperor Kangxi. At the back of the screen is a Avalokiteshvara statue, and at its 2 sides are the 18 disciples of the Buddha. The whole architecture was built in rational construction, present as imposing and majestic. Bell Tower and Drum Tower. Located at 2 sides of Mahavira Hall respectively, the eastern one is the Bell Tower and the western is the Drum Tower. Both are 4-story buildings with ingenious shape but towering and magnificent. Previous towers were also ruined due to the war in 1928, and present buildings are built respectively in 1994 and 1996 in accordance with their former appearance. Li Shuai Hall. It was built in Ming Dynasty and renovated in 1980. According to legend, it is the site that the second ancestor of Chan named Haik broke his arm and stood in snowfield to beg for an impartment from Bodhidharma. The enshrined bronze sitting Bodhidharma in the pavilion was made in 1531 and the horizontal board above was inscribed by Emperor Qianlong of Qing Dynasty. Today, the hall is the site for daily Buddhist activities. Thousand Buddha Hall. Standing behind the Lishui Hall, it is the backmost hall of Shaolin Temple. The murals in it are special famous with beautiful colors and harmony composition, representing the top-level painting of Tang Dynasty. In this hall, bronze Barhut and white marble Sakyamuni are also enshrined. Abbot Room. It is the room of abbot for both daily life and works. It was once the bedroom for Emperor Qianlong during his short stays in Shaolin Temple. In the room, there is a bronze Bodhidharma and a bronze Maitreya. A painting on the wall is a rare art treasure which portrays vivid image with fine and smooth lines. What to see in Shaolin Temple? Rich cultural relics and the Forest of Towers. Historical and cultural relics in Shaolin Temple are rich. There are over 500 murals made in Ming Dynasty and valuable steels and stone inscriptions. Most important steels and stone inscriptions in the temple are the ones gave by the Emperor Taizong, 599 to 649, and Emperor Wuzishan, 624 to 705, the only female emperor in Chinese history, of Tang Dynasty. The Forest of Towers is located in the west of Shaolin Temple at the foot of a hill. Covering about 20,000 square meters, it is the existing largest one in China. There are over 230 towers in the Forest of Towers which were built from Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907, to Qing Dynasty, 1644 to 1911. These ancient towers are tombs of eminent monks from Shaolin Temple of various dynasties. Though in diverse styles as built in different times, they are all graceful in shape and made with exquisite skills. Most tower inscriptions refer to the martial arts of Shaolin and the cultural exchange between China and other countries in ancient society. With the earliest one built in 791, the Forest of Towers of Shaolin Temple was approved a key cultural site protected under the state and was included into the largest ancient towers complex list by World Record Association. Martial Art of Shaolin. Martial arts of Shaolin, or Shaolin Kung Fu, is the first should be mentioned, as well as the largest school among Chinese Kung Fus with its over 700 kinds of series of skills. World known for superb skills, the word Shaolin is also the symbol of traditional martial arts of Chinese nation. Shaolin Kung Fu is an integrated one with famous top 72 unique skills and kinds of Chinese boxing, cudgel play, spear play, saber play, and swordsmanship. The main idea of Shaolin Kung Fu is the combination of Chan and martial arts, with the understanding of Chan the primary point. According to Shaolin Kung Fu practitioners, Shaolin monks practice the martial arts to get better concentration and meditation in minds, as well as win a stronger body and a prolonged life. A comprehensive system developed for over 1,000 years, the martial arts and Chan theory of Shaolin Kung Fu have well incorporated, which is the feature that make the Shaolin Kung Fu greatly different from other Kung Fu schools that are only emphasize on martial arts itself. I stop at this point today. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world's incredible stories. Thank you for watching.